welcome to today's Dashcam Diary of Disabled with me, chronically happy. I know, no sunglasses today. I left them in my other purse. And I have some, I still have some here in the car, but they're kind of goofy. I'm not in the mood to wear one of the pair of them. The other one is actually alright. I can probably grab those. These are the ones I call goofy. They don't really fit my face style very well. But you know, there's certain outfits that I like feeling like goofy in, so that's what I wear those in. I'm not trying to like look all goofy today though. Silly, I should say. Silly, not goofy. However, my longest standing friends messenger group, which are made of strictly people I know and I met in real life. Oh, whoa, gas prices, what the F? Oh, I'm glad I filled up when I wish I could have topped off before the gas prices went up. WTF? Today's diary is just, I'm tired. I'm slowly waking up. I did the dishes after I get home from the chiropractor and taking her to the PARK. This is just my routine. Going to the chiropractor on the way home. I always stop at the PARK right next to the house. And we play for about half hour or so until she gets like extremely exhausted and she just wants to lay down. I try to stop it before it gets to that point because there's no need for her to get like that tired out. But it does take her a good like half hour after we get home for her to like labor her breathing back to normal. And it's mostly so I can get her to go to the bathroom. Like she always wants to play in the morning, and then she always wants to play at night. Pretty much right after eating. So this is the routine. Going back to the chiropractor today. I don't necessarily really feel like I need it. However, there are still some things going wrong. And I really just want to kind of see where I'm at after just 2 days. To see how unstable I am, because if I don't do this today, I could potentially have a very, very bad weekend. And I'm trying to get stuff done. And I really want to see what is driving the pain right now. I am trying to get away from going 3 times a week. It's just getting too expensive for one, and two, we're heading into winter time, and so my pain patterns change with my RA and all that kind of stuff with the inflammation. But the inflammation is usually what's pulling everything out of place, because things just don't sit right on the inside. They don't sit right even when they're aligned. They are more painful when they're actually aligned than when they're misaligned, because when my body's misaligned, it's comfortable in that misaligned spot. That's what it's used to. It's called muscle memory. It goes right back to where it feels like it's most comfortable. And for me, it's not comfortable. No matter which way I am aligned or misaligned, it's uncomfortable. No matter what schedule with trying to get all this candy done. Like, I took yesterday off again. It's like every other day I'm able to try and work on it. And then like every other day I need to have a down day because my body is just like, it doesn't want to work right. It sucks. I finally feel like I'm aligned good, but there's still a couple things that just don't feel right. And I'm glad it's only like a 20-minute appointment. It should be 30, but of course, I'm always late. I should probably have my name be chronically late instead of chronically happy. Chronically late and happy. I really need to have some good catchphrases so when I do end up being able to sell merchandise, I can sell merchandise. I also need to get somebody that I know that does their own screen printing and can make anything that I need. I know several graphic designers in my friends group on Facebook, and I have met them through friends of friends. So I have a lot of acquaintances. I shouldn't say friends on Facebook. I have a lot of acquaintances on Facebook. I have somebody that is interested in me and hanging out with me. I've never hung out with this dude before. I believe he used to bartend at a place that me and my friend group used to go to. And him and I have actually several mutual friends, but they're not really friends that I would consider good friends. I'm still debating. It just hasn't been the right activity that he's invited me to. So given him the right opportunity and the right timing, I will go hang out with him. I think he's trying to change his life, and I've always inspired him on his posts because that's what I want to do. I'm a person that I want to build people up and not tear people down. There are enough people on the internet that pull other people down, and I don't want to be one of them. Some of my friends from high school that are now my ex-friends, their toxicity is what led to our unfriending. It's hard. It is hard to maintain friendships as adults, especially childhood friends, because your interests drastically change throughout our lives, them and me. And we were holding on to nostalgic friendships that shouldn't have really been friendships anyways. I allowed them to use me for years. I allowed them to be toxic because, to tell you the truth, I was pretty toxic in high school too. Not towards any family or friends, but absolute strangers. I was a menace to society at times. I was a rebellious teenager. I've learned from that, and I've learned that that's not the type of person I want to be, and nor do I want to be around toxic mother truckers anymore. And yes, I still allow some of them as my friends on Facebook. I have not taken them away. It takes an extreme amount of toxicity, or what I perceive as toxic, talking about you if you end up watching my channel. I just want you to know that. And you all live on the East Coast. That's the only clue I'm giving. If they watch my channel, they'll know who I'm talking about. But anyway, it's not you, Susan, that I'm talking about. This is hypothetical Susan. So Susan and I used to be the BFFs, and I was the one with the license in the car first at 16. And so I was always driving me and my friends around to go do all our activities. Go drive up to Portland to concerts, driving to fest, like Rock Fest. I did all the driving, and my friends would never give me gas money. And I didn't care about that, but my mom did. My mom was like, "They're using you, blah, 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 blah." But yet she would still welcome them into her home. And my mom learned a lot from my teenage years. I learned a lot from my teenage years. I viewed them as good life experiences. Whether they're good or bad experiences that happen, I figure they are all good. Because any kind of life experience is good. As long as you can learn from it and understand the consequences of your actions. Which these days, people do not think about the consequences of their actions. That is something I've been seeing a lot in social media, is people are not being acceptable, are not accepting their wrongdoings. Accountability, that's what the word I was looking for, the A word. Accountability. Consequences for your actions. Take accountability for that. Stop blaming and being a victim mentality. The world is not out to get you in particular, although it is probably karma getting back to you for some crap that you did. I think karma has came around many a times for me for all the negative things I did back in the day. Probably wanted to say, oh, who knows? The consequences of my actions led me to where I am today. And I fully accept that, and I can be happy about that. Not everybody can be happy about their consequences for their actions. They usually end up blaming everybody else for their problems and not even accepting that they are to blame for their own actions or reactions that they're doing to other people. So, one day I made a post about something on my Facebook, and so-called Susan hardly ever reacted to any of my posts, whether it's reacting as in like emoji reacting or comment react. And I don't need validation, but at that point in my life, it really kind of hurt my feelings, because this Susan would make comments on other people's pages and respond to them, and have something kind of funny to say, or but when it came to me, there would be no reaction, and the only comments that I would get on any of my posts, completely negative, kind of borderline toxic. And it's like, why are you berating me, or why are you bringing this toxicity into my comment section, into my thread? WTF. So, the last one that she made really upset me. Like, really upset me. Yes, the truth hurts, but that's neither here nor there. She had to just be toxic berated by my supervisor, or lead at the time, even though I was on my 15-minute break, which is completely allowed for me. But I got berated and yelled at because I was on the phone and I didn't know how loud I was talking, but evidently it was loud enough for that local and my leader to, and then she told me to get right back in the effing car. She just went off on me. She went off on me for taking my 15-minute break and trying to be as private as possible while answering all of these pre-op questions the day before. So I'm allowed to take a 15-minute break, guys. I'm allowed. But it was interrupting her conversation with this local. But I got berated on the phone while I was on the phone even. Like, I think, from what I remember. It's kind of hazy now. Like I said, I couldn't remember what appointment it was for. It had to be done the day before. And I was off the clock for my 15-minute break just so I could take that. It wasn't good enough. And so I posted this on Facebook, like, was I in the wrong, guys? Like, I'm allowed my 15-minute break, and she came back snapping at me. Actually, she was laughing. She reacted to it. And then she said, You're not entitled to be on the phone. You're not entitled to have a break. You know, she just came at me out of nowhere on my post, making me feel even more humiliated. And I took it to, I was just like, fine. If she has nothing good to say or no good responses to me at all, no matter what, she doesn't need to be seeing my posts. So I suspended her. I didn't block her. I didn't unfriend her. I just paused her from being able to see. I changed my privacy setting on all my posts to where I said everybody except this one person could see it. Anyways, so her and our other mutual friend from high school, she used to hang out with them a lot because she had a baby from our good friend's brother, who's a piece of crap. And he has like 3 or 4 baby mamas and like kids all over the place. So, consequences of your actions. So anyway, they were I guess they ended up talking about me, and she had asked my mutual friend asked Susan if she had seen that I posted this, and she was like, no. And so then she tried to look at my post, and she couldn't find hardly anything. Like, she hadn't seen me post for months, and so she was fuming. So she came at me again personally after that, and I told her off basically. I'm like, I don't need this in my life. I don't want it in my life. That is the reason I paused this. And so that is how our friendship ended, because I paused her from being able to see any of my posts. And then a mutual friend brought me up in conversation about something. I don't know what I had posted. I don't know. But she didn't like being blocked, so I ended up unfriending her after our long conversation. She was so evil and mean in the conversation that ended our friendship ultimately. Like, she threw things at me that, like, I don't even remember. I don't remember what she said now. I really don't. It hurt me to the bone, though, with the things, because she knew exactly what to say and calculated it to be as mean and spiteful as possible. And we still have a lot of the same mutual friends. There was even a point, and this is many years ago, so many years ago, that this unfriending happened. Like, I don't know, 10 years ago? Well, anyway, about 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, or 8, I don't know, many years have passed. And one of our other mutual friends, I don't want to call him out either, I'm going to call him, I'll just call him Cartman. Why not? He looks nothing like Cartman at all, but we've all known each other for the same amount of time. And he was having a barbecue and he wanted everybody to come. And there was this huge thing about Susan not wanting me to be there at the same time she was there. And I'm like, what is the big effing deal? Like, you can't just ignore me. I can ignore her fine. Why does it have to be like that? Like, I wasn't going to talk to her at all. I was just going to blatantly ignore her if she was going to be there. But anyway, he was trying to give her a time of what time I would be leaving, showing up and leaving, so he could give her the okay that I was leaving. Yeah. So messed up. And I was supposed to be the godmother of her kid. Like, I was going to do so much for that kid and do things, you know. I was in the military at the time when she was born, so I didn't get a chance to see her be born, but, you know, she never did baptize her daughter, but neither here nor there. You know, I was basically, you know, known each other almost our whole lives, and then, like, we have a falling out, and then she can't even stand to look at me across the yard. He usually does these get-togethers and has like a barbecue, and like everybody sits outside. Sometimes, you know, once in a while in the house, 1 or 2 people in the house, but really we're all just meant to. A lot of them smoke cigarettes and stuff, and smoke other things, and so medical MJ, you know, MJ. That's what other people smoke, not anything more than that. You know, I'm not trying to insinuate like smoking crack or anything. Like, no. My friends aren't into that kind of thing. I don't like to associate those types of people anyways. They're menaces to society too. They're thieves. Dishonest thieves. People that smoke that stuff. There's better ways to lose weight. And lose your mind. So anyway, that was a big whole ordeal. I'm like, I don't know what time I'm going to be there. I'm always late, you know, this here, there, that. I'm like, I just thought the whole thing was ridiculous. And so at the end of that party, when I went to leave and he walked me out to my car, she actually pulled up and went into the house, and he acknowledged her real fast. And then, yeah, I was basically trying to be ushered out of the fucking way and out of there, so he can spend his time with both of us. So stupid. But really, she was just jealous of me, and a lot of my friends from back in the day are still jealous of me. They think that I brag and show off my life, when all along I would post good and bad posts. The bad things that were happening to me, all the medical gaslighting, this here and there, that. But they would never pay attention to all that stuff. They would only pay attention to the things that made them jealous. And it's not even me bragging about my life. All it is just showing everybody what I'm up to in my life. That's all it is updates. So that way I don't have to repeat myself and talk to a whole bunch of people all at one time. It's just a quicker way to, like, hey, this is what I'm up to in my life. Maybe friends, people from all over the world that I haven't seen in freaking ages, or friends that have moved away, you know. It's just one of those things. It was what I want to do on my page, and nobody's going to dictate to me what I'm going to post. I'm going to post what I feel like. So here I am posting to YouTube now. I love you all. Peace out.